And Sarah has something for us. Come on.
Okay. Rex. Okay.
So you identified the poison that killed Phoebe Barnes?
Well, first of all, Phoebe's fertility clinic confirmed that she picked up her medication 4 days before she died.
So it was in the house the night of the party?
Yeah, and as for what it was swapped out with, it wasn't exactly poison. I rushed a tox screen on Phoebe and turned up nothing unusual, but I also tested the syringe that Rex picked out. And that told me to run a plasma test on Phoebe's blood.
And?
It showed an extremely high insulin to C-peptide ratio, an insulin overdose. So she would have had severe hypoglycemia, which would have caused loss of consciousness or a seizure.
Is that why she drowned?
Well, whoever swapped the meds couldn't necessarily have predicted she'd drown.
But it was clear that somebody was trying to harm her.
Well, insulin is helpful at the right dosage to control blood sugar, but you administer a sufficiently large dose, and whether or not the person has diabetes, the consequences can be fatal. And this was a sufficiently large dose.
Did Phoebe Barnes have diabetes?
No, and neither did anyone else in the household, according to her physician.
Danny Collins had diabetes. I saw him check his blood sugar a few times, and he kept insulin in the fridge at the studio.
Yeah, it's here in his medical file.
Okay. So let's assume that it was Danny's insulin that killed Phoebe Barnes.
Okay, first thought, worst thought. Danny's insulin. Did he kill Phoebe? And if so, who killed him? Oh, no. More likely someone killed the both of them, but who would want both of them dead?
One step at a time, cowboy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the studio and get Danny's insulin. I'll check for fingerprints and see if I can match it to what I found in Phoebe's medication.
Okay, great. Let's see who had access to Danny's insulin. Okay. I'm gonna check to see if I can track down Niall. That's Phoebe's nephew. He hasn't been seen since his aunt was found.
Got it.
There's one other thing. Okay, so an insulin overdose doesn't result in any remarkable features that would show up in an autopsy.
So the killer might have suspected that the true cause of death would never be found.
Sneaky.
Yeah, it's only because Rex found the syringe that I knew what to look for. Otherwise, it would have been tough to prove that this was murder at all.
Good job, partner. Come on. Hey.
Hey. Okay, so I collected the insulin Danny was keeping in his fridge at the studio and tested it against the residue we found in the syringe that Phoebe Barnes was using. There's no way to match it conclusively, but it is the same type of insulin.
Okay. Well, assuming that it is Danny's, is there any way that we can narrow down when it was stolen?
Yep, we got lucky there. I talked to his pharmacist, and Danny picked up his prescription on Saturday morning.
The day of the party.
That's right. And he switched it that day from an intermediate-acting insulin to a pre-mixed one. The one in Phoebe's syringe was from his new prescription.
So it had to be stolen Saturday.
Sometime between when he picked it up from the pharmacy and the party that night.
New prescription. You'd be more likely to notice if that went missing.
Yeah, I would think so.
So let's just say that Danny did notice that some of his meds were missing, and he had an idea of who had taken them.
And after Phoebe died, if it came out how it happened, then you could put two and two together.
And identify Phoebe's killer.
And that would account for motive in both murders.